Your race was all based on where you came from, what particular tribe, or what particular race you came from. That's who you were. Okay? All of this mixed business and this black and this white business, that's a new thing I want to see. Alright? And nobody's white, by the way. There's no such thing as black people. Go on, brother.
Romans 8:16, it says the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Yeah, that we are the children of the Most High. That's all that matters. So if you are involved in this truth, some kind of way that you believe, okay? Because this, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, those that don't believe, they're going to receive the destruction. They're going to be missile at the end of the day. Because World War III is going to happen. All right? That's what's going to happen. So, you know, if you're an Israelite, whatever you may look like, it doesn't matter. If you believe it, hey, that's what it's all about right there. You know what I mean? Go on.
Oh yeah, I've got Ezekiel 12, starting at 9, it says, Son of man, hath not the house of Israel, the rebellious house, said unto thee, what doest thou?
Right.
Say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord power, this burden concerning the prince in Jerusalem and all the house of Israel that are among them.
That's a clown.
Say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them.
Yeah, read that again. Read that verse again.
It says, say, I am your sign, like as I have done, so shall it be done unto them.
Right. They
shall remove and go into captivity.
Right. And that's what happened to the Israelites. They were removed out of their land and they went into captivity. And because of that, you're going to have certain Israelites that are going to look a certain way. They're going to look like Edomites. You're going to have Israelites like Edomites. You're going to have Israelites look mixed or whatever, because due to the scatterization. But when it's all said and done, the Most High is going to return Israel back to their original state. All right? And we're the Israelites, by the way. You know, we're not black guys on the street corner bringing forth rap music. We're not out here for that. Okay? We're here to teach the word and the gospel of Yahweh Shai, and that's what we're here to do. That's our style. That's our media, okay? That we follow and that we present to you. Go on, bro.
It says, verse 12, it says, and the prince that is among them shall bear upon his shoulder in the twilight, and shall go forth. They shall dig through the wall to carry out thereby. He shall cover his face, that he see not the ground with his eyes. My net also will I spread upon him, and he shall be taken he shall be taken in my snare. And I will bring him to Babylon, to the land of the Chaldeans.
Right, and that's what happened to the Israelites. They were brought as slaves to Babylon. And guess what? You have Israelites that are still down into this very day, modern day Iraq. Okay. You know? You got some, right?
No.
Okay.
You said that.
Yeah, let him come in. Yeah, so that's what you have. You had Israelites that were brought to Babylon, to Chaldea. Why? Because they went against the Father's will. They didn't keep the law, such commandments. So every time the Israelites went off, they went into slavery. Go on, brother. And that's why we're under this so-called white man today. This is why Esau thinks that he's better than us, because of our predicament, but not understanding and realizing that we're here and we're in this predicament because we sinned against Heavenly Father. That's why these white people, they can puff their chest at you, or they can spit on the floor when they walk past you. Okay, because in their state of mind, they think that, well, I'm better than them. I'm of a higher class than them. And at the same time, a lot of them are jealous of us too, which is confusing, which I don't understand why. But to a certain degree, I can understand. Okay, so let's read on. But the point of the matter is that we're here in this low predicament because we sinned against the Most High. That's why. Go on.
It says, ye shall eat, yet shall he not see it. Though shall he die there, and I will scatter toward every wind.
So you're going to have Israelites that are going to die there. Go on.
And I will scatter toward every wind all that are about him to help him.
And I will scatter them towards every wind that are about him. So we were scattered throughout the four corners, eventually, throughout a process of time. Go on.
And all his bands, and I will draw out the sword after them.
Yeah.
And they shall know that I am the Lord
Yep.
when I scatter them among the nations and disperse them in the
Yep.
countries.
Exactly, and that's what we know right now. We know that the Lord did this. We saw it to Ezekiel, not Ezekiel 38. That's talking about the nations are going to know that we've been scattered because we sinned against the Most High. But we know that because we sinned against the Most High. And the reason why we're scattered is because of that alone. We're not in our land, we're not in Jerusalem anymore. We're in any other place outside of Jerusalem. We're in America, we're in England, we're in Belgium, okay, we're in Germany, we're in West Africa, we're in all of these different lands, but the land that we're not in is Jerusalem. So the Lord completely did away with us from his face, because the Lord's face is more concerned with that land, okay, what is Jerusalem. The eyes of the Lord is upon Jerusalem, the landmass especially. All right, and while we're here in these lands, we're called different names. We've been relabeled Black, or African American, or Jamaican, West Indian. Okay, all of these bullshit names, these slave names we give. Go on.
Last one, it says, verse 16, it says, but I will leave a few men of them from the sword,
Right.
from the famine, and from the pestilence, that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen,
Yep.
whither they come, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
And they shall know that I am the Lord. Exactly. So we know that the Lord did this, and we know the name of the Lord now. We've come to the conclusion that the Most High, destroyed us, and now we're here. Okay, we're outside of our land. I want you to read that one more time, brother.
The last verse. It's Ezekiel 12 and...
No, read that precept you had before. Well, you was already reading it. Huh? I think we'll go up a verse. Go up a couple of verses. No, he was. I think he might have been on the same chapter, brother. You read up a couple of verses.
Scattering.
Yeah.
Alright, Ezekiel 12 and 14, it says, and I will scatter toward every wind all that are about him to help
Oh
him,
yeah. Come
and
on.
all his bands, and I will draw out the sword after them, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I scatter them among the nations
Right.
and disperse them in the countries.
Yeah, go on.
But I will leave a few of them from the sword,
Okay.
from the famine, and from the pestilence,
Yeah.
that they may declare all their abominations among the heathen, whither they come, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
Right. So back then, the Lord preserved the remnant from the sword. Even back then, so that's going to happen all over again. You're going to have an elect that's going to be preserved from the sword in these times. All right. Now you're going to have certain men that are going to die because they're going to be mortals. But even by that, they're going to still be preserved, because guess what? They're going to receive their salvation from this devil. Okay. So that's the way the Most High gets down. He always been getting down like that. He always had a remnant that the Lord favored and delivered, going all the way back to Egypt. You had Joshua and Caleb, 2 men saved, while the rest died off.
Yeah.
Go on, bro. So I mean, when you really check it out, when you read all throughout the scriptures, most of the times, you're always gonna find out that there was always a remnant that the Lord preserved from danger. Okay, the Lord didn't favor Israel all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the times, He favored the remnant. And that's another secret that most of you Israelite groups out there don't know about. And that's why you're teaching the way you're teaching. Teaching to pretty much try to save all Israel, but you're not going to do that, because the Lord ain't dealing with the whole house of Israel. You understand? So that's all I wanted on that. You're going.
Isaiah 6 and 9 says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not.
Yeah.
And see ye indeed, but perceive not.
You're going.
Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes,
Right.
and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed.
Exactly. So when you really look at it more from a deeper perspective, based on the scriptures we're reading today, what I've also learned, I've learned something new. And what I've also learned, and I'm going to say this again, I've learned that basically the Most High, all throughout the history of Israel, okay, when Israel was going through hell or going through some kind of turmoil, okay, like even during the time of Yahweh Shai. Even up to that point in time, the Most High always had an elect that he preserved. So really, in all reality, we're not even supposed to teach under the intent to deliver our people. Really, the reason why we're doing this is to save the elect. That's the reason why we're doing this, or one of the reasons why we're doing this. Okay, it was about the elect from the book of Genesis. When you read about Genesis chapter 18, when Sodom and Gomorrah is about to be destroyed. There was only a few that made it out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and that was back, almost going on 4,000 years ago.
2 daughters,
and it's the same, and it's going to be the same even unto the end.
3 of them.
So it says, bring forth fruits that are meet for repentance.
Right.
That are good for repentance.
Right.
Because you got a lot, the scripture says, wisdom will not enter into a malicious soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a soul that's subject to sin.
Right.
Meaning you have certain souls that are malicious, man.
Right.
They're wrong, they're left hand.
Well, most of the souls. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That we teach this word to them, it's not going to resonate with them.
Yeah.
There's no familiarity between them and the word.
Yep.
You know, so they're going to reject it. So
Exactly.
you have to understand that when you're out there, you're dealing with evil people. Like evil spirits. Man.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, just hold on a minute, brother. And so that's the whole ordeal. You gotta understand that you're out here to save the elect. That's it. I mean, we're not gonna save nobody. It's the Lord that brings them to the doctrine. But what our intention is to know that there's an elect out there that's gonna be saved spiritually by this word here. But if you in the highways and the byways under the intent to save all Israel, you in the wrong spirit. Okay? But you would know that if you know the scriptures and you were taught under the right guidance. But a lot of y'all don't know that, man. Especially a lot of you that decide to go off and do your own thing, thinking that you could be the Superman or the saviors of Israel. There's only one savior, man, and the savior is Yahweh Shai. You can't do that job, my man. Go on.
Because in Exodus, when the Lord was going to destroy all of Israel, and Moses had to plead with him not to do that. Yeah?
Right.
So what you're saying.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to read this.
Yep.
So it says, and the Lord said, this is Exodus 32 and 7. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Yep.
Because they was doing making all the false idols and
Yeah.
madness. It says, they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and they have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy powers, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Because you know what too, I have to bring this out to the forefront as well, because the Most High did save all of Israel out of Egypt. He did. There were so many Israelites that walked out of Egypt, and so much so that you had Edomites that were afraid of them when they reached to the shores of Edom. Okay, because there was a large group of our people that were saved out of them. So the Lord can save all of Israel, but when you actually deal with the wilderness, what happened in the wilderness? A lot of them died off, and it was only 2 men. Caleb and Joseph. Go on.
Verse 9 it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
Right.
And Moses besought the Lord his power, and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt, with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever.
They shall inherit it forever. Go on.
And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto this people.
And you know too, they wasn't able to inherit it forever because they didn't keep the covenant. In other words, they didn't keep the law, such commandments. So what happened is they wound up going into slavery in due time. Go on, brother. There's any going on.
No, that's it, man.
All right. But if you notice as well, when you read other precepts, it does talk about how we're going to have an everlasting kingdom. So we're going to have an everlasting kingdom. We're going to be in that land forever and ever. Okay, so that's still kept. That covenant is still kept. What he said is kind of still going to be fulfilled. But it had the reason why I say kind of because it wasn't fulfilled in that time due to the curses. But when the kingdom is set up, that's when it's going to be fulfilled. That we're going to be in that land forever and ever. Yeah. So read what you got, brother. You had something.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 8 and 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates.
Read that again.
Proverbs 8 and 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me.
Yes, it says, blessed is the man that heareth me. So how do you hear the Lord? By hearing the word of the Lord from the prophets. When Rebecca was pregnant with Jacob and Esau, it says that she inquired of the Lord. Now, what does it mean that she inquired of the Lord? Meaning she went to a prophet, because the prophets were representatives or ambassadors of the Lord. Okay, like it is still to this very day. Go on.
Watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life.
Oh, wait a minute. Read that again.
For whoso findeth me findeth life.
Whoso findeth me findeth life. Again, going right back to the topic at hand. That's where you're going to find the life from. You're going to find the life, okay, from the men that have the Holy Spirit. That's where you're going to find the light, or who you're going to get the light from. All right, and it also says, seek the Lord that he may be found. Okay. And you can get that precept too.
This is Romans 10 and 14. It says, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
Okay.
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
Right.
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
Without a preacher. So in order for you to gain this understanding, you have to be taught again. Now, can the Most High open your mind up to this information alone? Yeah, he could do that. But that's not how the Lord is getting down. The Lord is going to use other men to open your mind up to this truth, so that you can be saved and come out of the wiles of Satan. But you're going to get that from this world, this society. This is why people are bugged the hell out here, because they're under the vibration and the philosophies of Satan. Okay? But you're going to come out of that because the Lord had mercy on you. He chose you to be a part of his counsel. Okay? Go on, brother.
Next one, verse 15, it says, and how shall they preach except they be sent?
Yeah.
As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach
So the Most High,
the gospel of peace.
the Most High likens us as beautiful men because we're standing out here preaching the good gospel. And that also goes to show that you have to be out in the streets. Not hiding behind, your room. You're hiding behind, what is it, man? You in your room and stuff like that. And you ain't outside. No, you got to come outside. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Now, if you're ashamed of Yahweh Shai, then you got a problem, mate. Okay? We have no shame in Yahweh Shai. We do this, man. This is what we do. We live to do this. Go on.
I'll just finish it. It says, and bring glad tidings of good things.
Right, and to bring glad tidings and good things, which is the gospel. The word gospel means the good news or the good tidings. Okay? So read what you got.
Proverbs 8 and 35. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord.
You get the scripture where it says, seek the Lord that he may be found. Somebody get it. It doesn't matter. So that's just the whole ordeal. The way you're going to receive the truth is by the preachers that are sent. How you going to know about this word if the preachers are not sent? Okay? So you have to be sent. You got it, yeah?
Isaiah 55.
He's already got it, brother.
Wanna get-
Now you go.
Isaiah 55 and 6, it says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Right.
Call ye upon him while he is near."
Call ye upon him while he is there. Because the way you're going to witness and experience the Lord or seeing the Lord is his men. Not saying that we're the Most High or we're the Messiah. We are just the ambassadors or the representatives of him. Okay? Because it always happened like that. You always had men that inquired or women that inquired of the Lord, and who they had to go to. They had to go to the prophet. So that's the same thing like now. We're the modern day prophets of the 21st century. Okay, and we, like I said, we represent the end of Esau. We represent the end of this revival of ancient Rome. We represent the end of this age. As I'm going to say again, the rising of Jacob means the end of Esau.
Yeah.
That's what that means, and that's why we're out here. You know, you have brothers out of the Israelite stock that are waking up to who they are. They're not into this hip hop culture anymore or black culture anymore. They're into the culture of being who they really are, and who we are Hebrew Israelites. That's who we are. So once we wake up to that idea, then Esau has to only look forward to his demise and his destruction. That's the only thing that's coming for Esau. Go on, brother. If you got something. Matter of fact, read that again. Isaiah
Yeah, I was going to
55
finish it
and
off
6.
anyway. Isaiah 55 and 6, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near."
Right, call ye upon them while he is near. Because it's going to come a time when we're not going to be out here no more. The internet's going to shut down and you're not going to hear the word of the Lord. You can get that in Amos 8 and 11, brother. You know? Yeah, so, you got something.
This is Isaiah 43 and 5. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west.
Right, I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. Because we're scattered from the west. We're in the western hemisphere right now. You got brothers that are also in the east. Okay? But the bulk of us are in the western hemisphere. It's a slave going.
I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far.
Right, bring my sons from far. How were they afar? Because they were far from the land. It tells you in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, that we wouldn't see our land anymore. So we're far off from the land. Go on.
And my daughters from the end of the earth.
And my daughters, because you're going to have certain women that are going to be saved as well. Although we get on women a lot, and guess what? You have certain women out there that believe in what we're bringing to you. Okay, or what we're bringing about. And they're going to be saved. Go on.
Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory.
So it says, everyone that is called by my name. The name is Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. But the main name that we trust in is Yahweh Shah, because the Most High is not dealing with us right now. We have to go before the mediator. You know?
For I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes,
Right.
and the deaf that have ears.
Okay.
Let all nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled.
So it says, let all the nations be gathered together, and let all the nations be assembled. Look up the word assembled, brother. Somebody look up the word assembled in the video. Go on.
Who among them can declare this, and shew us former things?
Right, and show us former things. Those that can declare that are the men that were given the wisdom to do so. Okay, and the ability to break the shoulders down. Those so-called Jews in Israeli land can't do that job because they're not equipped to do it, and they're not the nation of the Lord is dealing with, not all. So if they're the Jews, as I like to always talk about them, then they should be prophets among them, preaching in the land of Israel. We should see them opening up their Bibles and teaching about the end of the world, or warning the world that the end is going to come. But they're not doing that. Because they're not the people. Go on, brother.
Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is true. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord,
Yeah.
and my servant whom I have chosen.
And my servant whom I have chosen. So you got guys that are chosen to be servants of the Most High. Yahweh Shah, go on.
That ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he.
Okay.
Before me there was no power formed,
Right.
neither shall there be after me.
Exactly. And that's what the whole world is going to find out eventually. The world is going to find out that there's no other power but one power, and he's a living power, and he's the power of Israel. And he dwells amongst Israel, pursuant to Joel, the 2nd chapter. And all of this nonsense that we see going about in England, okay, and those of you brothers that are scattered abroad, the foolishness that you see, that's just the left-hand side of the Most High working at large, okay? But in due time, the Most High is going to destroy these people out here that are into this foolishness. Make an example for the elect to see the damnation of the wicked. Go on, brother.
Verse 11, I, even I, am the Lord Yahweh,
Yeah.
and beside me there is no Savior.
There's no Savior. So Yahweh Shah got one Savior, and that Savior is Yahweh Shah. I mean, Yahweh has one Savior, and that Savior is Yahweh Shah. That's it. And that's who we rely on by teaching His word and staying upon His word, trusting in His word. That's it on that, right? Yeah, you got it.
The word assembly means to gather, receive, remove, gather in, to gather, collect, to gather an individual into companies
So
of
wait a minute,
others.
brother. Doesn't it say in the New Testament, it says that he that is with me, gather him. He that is against me, scatter him. So it all goes together. So eventually, if you believe in this truth and we gather you to this truth, we're doing the right job. And ultimately, physically, you'll be gathered unto the Most High. Okay, in the cloud. And then those that are there to scatter the sheep, eventually their whole foundation is going to be scattered when push comes to shove. Go on, brother.
Pretty much.
You're going.
Isaiah 42 and 7, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from
Okay.
prison, and them that sit in darkness.
I tell you what, brother. Read up a couple of verses about the assembly, the word assembly. Yeah, read about them.
Isaiah 43 and 8. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled.
So it says, let all the nations gather together. So you got to understand something. It doesn't say that the Most High is going to gather the actual other nations or the heathen. It's talking about Israelites, because the Israelites were scattered into all nations. That's what this is talking about, because in Ed Simpleton read this and think, oh, see, everybody what you're saying, don't look the same. But no, that's talking about Israelites. That would be gathered together towards the Heavenly Father. Go on.
Who among them can declare this, and shew us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses,
Okay.
that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is true.
Right.
Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there is no power formed, neither shall there be after me.
Exactly. Go on.
I, even I, am the Lord Yahweh, and beside me there is no Savior.
Okay, go on.
I have declared and have saved, and I have shewed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am the Most High.
Yeah, so we're witnesses to that. We understand the power of the Lord because we read the scriptures and we can see that. And we see that working out in nature as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we see how the Most High can severely destroy somebody or kill somebody. We've seen that happen. Okay, we've also seen how the Most High can bless people too. And bless the brethren in the brethren in the street. Whether the Lord blesses you with faith or blesses you with the wisdom, understanding. Okay, so we've seen both sides, but we're going to see more so that's going to blow our minds too.
Can I make a point about that?
Go ahead.
That video you done, the Gatwick Airport, with the chariots come over, which,
Go on.
you know, more so as time goes on, I'm convinced it's chariots myself, you know, that's just me. But there's the one in over in New York, the blue light over that appeared, and people. This is nobody. This is just everyday, you know, everyday people saying that they heard a hovering sound which they're not putting it on the mainstream news, obviously, but on the social media, they're saying the people that were there who filmed it on their own little cameras, but they heard a strong hovering sound as well as the blue light. So you're not hearing about that side of it.
Yep.
In line with what you're saying, which you did say in the video, that there's going to come a time when when the chariots are going to start actually destroying certain areas.
Yeah.
And it's going to be obvious that it's the chariots, and they ain't going to be able to refute it.
Exactly. Because see, the media like to say, well, it's something else or whatever. But if it is something else, then the police would know about it. Why is the police running and going crazy? Because they don't know. They don't know what that is. Because a lot of the times, the government, they state shit that happen. You know what I mean? Go on, brother.
They brought in the military to deal with it.
Yeah.
They brought in the firepower, the military to come and deal with it for 2 drones.
Yeah.
That's lies, man.
And the drones are disappearing, and I did in my video, if the drones are disappearing, so what happened to the guy who's controlling the drone?
Yeah.
Is he disappearing as well?
Right, exactly.
No logic, man.
Doesn't make any sense. You can't make sense of that. The only way you can make sense of it is that it would have to be in what they call a UFO, okay, or a chariot as we call it. That's it. Go on, brother.
Hold on, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
See, if you're rich, if you've got a lot of money,
Yep.
you not get the kingdom.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this: you got brothers that's got money, you know, and they live all right. They'll still make it in the kingdom. But if you got like a lot of money to the point where, let's just say, for example, you walking around with 50 million pounds on you, and you live in this big mansion. Let's get the scripture on that. Get me I believe it's in what's the name? I believe it's in the book of I'm not really sure, but it's in the New Testament. But I mean, basically, it's not the fact that you're rich that you won't make it. It's all based on faith, because you could have loads of money and still believe. But it's going to be a lot more harder for you to believe because you got all of that money, and because you got all that money, you're able to do what most people can't do, like go to expensive restaurants, go to expensive clubs and what have you, and have all kind of women around you living in large homes.
It's addictive.
It's addictive. So that life is going to draw you away from doing this work eventually. You know what I mean? So that's just the whole ordeal. But yeah, somebody get me the scripture on that.
So if you're of the elect, you are of the elect.
Yeah.
So he will only give you what you need.
Most likely, yeah.
Can I make a point about Apostle Tarsus, that he came into a bit of money himself?
Yeah.
Of the because of the time they got arrested in the with the compensation. He got compensation for the time when he got arrested.
Yeah.
With the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Other lawsuits as well, So he came into. He says it on his himself. He came into a bit of money, but he said he never made him go left. Never made him go astray.
Right.
But when brothers need help,
Right.
he helps them with it.
Right, because I'm gonna say this. Let's say you're a brother, right? You make a couple of hundreds of thousands. That's really you ain't super rich like that. Okay, you're doing pretty good than the average person. But I mean, if you walking around with like 10 million, man, or 5 million, then that lifestyle is gonna, it's going to coerce you in a different direction.